Hi guys, it's Aegis here. So today I'm here with so many things you can see right here on my playmat, which is our champion Banboo, who got his champion, of course, for English standard. So let me also tune up and show his face. So here it is.
Hello.
Hey.
I'm finally on this channel.
Yep, finally. Because I think I don't always show people's face, and because he's a buddy, and we are in the same hotel right now, and we are actually fighting the local ultimate tomorrow, which is kind of like a very localized and official tournament, but it's very big in Japan, so it's both first experience for both of us. And of course his brother Sam, which is in Trophy, will also be joining us as well. And not to forget, he's also like 9th place
in premium.
So yes. I have two very strong companions to fight for me. In case you didn't watch my Twitter, I did go 0-5 for the BGFS, so I am the bad luck vacuum.
It's okay, you got this. Bring it back.
Yep. So I did upgrade my Solar deck a little bit with the new cards. Unfortunately, I don't have the Ace unit, so I can't actually do much about that because I'm not going to pay that money for it right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so we first have the
participation promo.
Yeah, so this is what already given to you. This is also what already given to you, which we will unbox this in a little bit. And then very surprisingly, I just know it right now that not only this little buildy here, which you can use for most of your
Keter decks.
Not only
it's only Keter.
It's only Keter. Okay, yeah. I thought they make it generic.
I know,
okay.
Right? But
at least you can use it on a red side.
Exactly. Which is his deck. So
yeah, and most Keter deck, ironically, is generic cards.
Yep.
So you can just basically put it in most decks, and that's like.
Yeah. I was really excited, and then I realized that for Alfred, you can't actually use it because you have to use Wingle Brave.
Yeah.
And this is clearly not Wingle Brave, so I guess my Alfred dream is in the dumps.
Yeah. Well, for now. Maybe next year if you win again.
That would be quite the dream.
Okay. Yep. And also we have the top 4 and 8, which is not expected, so very nice to have as well. And they are exactly the same card, just with the different top. Yeah. So, but it's still very good to have. And maybe he is looking for a buyer on these, maybe?
Yes, of course, you know.
So it's just a little promotion. If you are looking for it, you can feel free to reach out. Maybe I can also pass the message if you want to. So it's there for you to grab. So, okay, let's keep this safe for now.
Yes, thank you.
And then we can look into the box right here, I guess. A little bit out. So, for people who don't know, I actually did purchase this already, so it's mine. So we get a very big box, which I think this one, if you take it away,
it should be just box.
Yeah, it's just a normal storage box because it's only for the playmate. I don't think it fits the card size, which I have some cards right here, so I can just do a simple demonstration. So you can see it's not fit already, and the height is not fit. So if you take this out, it's just a very big box. I need to check if this part is actually, okay. So this part is actually just taken out, so you can just use it as a separate. But I think it's more for a deck box more than just a card storage. And then we have the 2 sleeves, which very surprisingly that they do not put it as a ride deck plus main deck sort of stuff. They just basically give you full. We haven't actually opened these yet, so we don't know how the sleeves cuts are.
Fingers crossed they're good, because I'd feel really, really bad if it wasn't.
Yeah, because you showed me one of those collapsed sleeves, and they are not in a very good cut. And not for Japanese, but for English, Bushiroad is very, very strict with sleeves. And I even heard about using Bushiroad products gets you disqualified because of the sleeve check.
It's possible. I'm pretty sure it happened once, yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully, fingers crossed, because I might be using these. So I hope you don't get me killed. And then we have this box, which looks very nice as well. So it's an Akina sleeves and box. So it's basically an Akina set. And very surprisingly, again, it's the energy generator isn't using this design.
Yes, I think they just wanted to reuse designs. So in Japan, there's a WGP Akina generator, and it's the same thing, but they just replace the text and the stamp. So yeah.
So what I would expect was they just put it in the same design, then everyone can get it. But unfortunately, I couldn't get the chance to see the premium box yet. So maybe there's something different in there, I guess. But yeah, that's basically all the stuff that you can get, and if you keep climbing up to be a champion, that's all the cards that you will get. So you can basically see the whole set except the trophy, which if you check the photos, you can find it out.
Yeah, I can bring it later. So you can see it.
I might just put it somewhere here.
Yeah.
So we are not going to talk about the deck profile, because the deck profile is, according to the stream, is quite standard, I would say.
Yes.
So and of course, Bushiroad will be opening all the deck locks, so you can also check that out already. It's a Bavsagra with Vanguard, which you can have 4 of them, which again in a very short time, I guess, that it will come to 1. So I don't think there will be too much like referencing for you for upcoming tournaments, unless it get to 1 and then we have a new build, which if it happens, you will see on the channel, right? I guess. But I think we are more interested on the idea to take Bavsagra, and maybe like some of the matchups that you actually faced, and something that you expected to see but didn't see. Maybe.
Yeah. So I played Bavsagra because I think it's like definitely the best deck ever, or in the current meta, right? With 4 Vaylords, I don't think it can be contested with, unless you're really unlucky with getting your Trick Moons and Vaylords and Cindy's. I originally planned to bring Prison, but then I can't Prison Vaylords because they have Resist, which is terrible for me. But you know, I had to just play with the best deck just to make sure I have a better shot, right?
Yeah, because it's your first time, and I think it's more
stable,
important to actually aim for a deck that can bring you to be a champion, instead of like me being me, and hopefully I can bring a deck representing myself and win.
Yeah.
If it's your second time, maybe next year you can try to flex.
Exactly. Yeah. Maybe I'll bring a Keter deck and I can play my champion starter. See how that goes.
Maybe you will actually go with a Ufreg next time.
Yeah.
But I mean Ufreg also requiring the right line, maybe.
Yeah.
It's okay, but we will see if next year what will happen.
Yeah.
So what are some of the matchups that you face?
So a lot of them was Bavsagra's, which is not surprising. I think the key part of fighting the mirror match is dealing 0 damage, because I think most people only play 1 mace. Right. So if you 0 damage them, they actually very unlikely. It's very unlikely for them to actually get a 2 arms on their first grade 3 turn.
Yeah, because they need the counter lesson for the grade 2 right line to do that.
Exactly, and they need a CB to arm the sword or shield from hand anyways, right?
Yeah.
And then I think the other one was Bat for my finals. That was really close. Over trigger saved me.
I did see on the stream like we should ban the OD because of that.
Yeah, I was so happy. But his deck scared me because I don't know. I've never seen a bad player play with perfect guards. And then he had like 1 or 2 heals, which I didn't expect because I saw the front trigger that goes in Soul, and the front trigger that gets extra 5k shield. So when I saw that, I actually had a heart attack.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I think the last one was the Ava player I fought, because they have the resist order that makes it so that their obscudates don't die. So they have 20k shield for their front row, and that matters quite a lot in that matchup.
True. And they always get a lot of cards in their hand to protect you, unless you actually go into your multiple attackers, which does not always happen.
Yes.
Okay, so are there any like decks that you are kind of expecting to see, but you didn't see it come at all?
Yeah, so I was expecting to see more Rezals and Levidrass, honestly. Also Messiah, because I know that Messiah was really strong in set 6.
Yep.
A lot of people in my locals played Messiah, so I was pretty prepared towards that. I thought Messiah would be more popular because you can bind the Trick Moon by locking it, which immediately hinders Bavsagra's like consistency. Levy could also be really annoying because, especially when they go first, they can set up a lot of board potential, and you have less bullying potential against their grade 2 if you go first, right? And then Rezal, they obviously draw a lot. There was one Rezal player that played Wisdom Teeth Fault and Dog, because Dog isn't banned in English yet. That was really scary. They had like 13 cards in their hand. After the first grade 3 turn, I was like, well, what do I do?
How am I going to break this one?
Exactly. And then my first attack, they hit over trigger. I'm like, well, la-di-da, I think I'm dead.
Yeah, exactly. Because, like, well, I kind of see Messiah not actually going to Worlds because it's still a very slow deck.
Yes.
And if you don't get the right timing, because you are so, like, passive. If you go first, you basically do nothing, but then it's needed for you to guarantee you can strike next turn. If you're going second, your opponent will not rise, so you cannot strike the next turn. So both ways you are kind of getting locked by yourself. And like, not like Jet can at least try to use the order to kind of ignoring the GB and trying to do some stuff, but Messiah is basically not that. So I can see that's not coming. Rezal is surprising as well, because in Asia country, Rezal is definitely a very strong pick, but that also because we have Love and Berry. So it requires you to actually have some safety net with the Divine Skill to survive. And then Levidrass, if it's in the Asia region, I would say it should be a pick, but then in here, in English region, I don't think, well, it was like a very like massive flood with Levidrass that we once even see like basically all top 8s are Levidrass.
I think for my Toronto regionals, I fought 5 Levidrasses in a row. That was terrifying. Luckily, I won most of my dice rolls, so those went pretty well.
And with Levidrass, I think because Bavsagra is out and the bat is here before you can actually do anything, you already dead. Because for Levidrass, you actually need to go to grade 3, and as long as you lost that going first, you are dead. So that's the part that I think people will not prefer to use Levidrass. That I would say. So there are a lot of like decks that actually didn't come up, which is very interesting as well. And unfortunately, it is what it is with the Bavsagra era, because Bushiroad choose to let people enjoy what decks can do most full power, especially in a very competitive environment with the Worlds. And then maybe next few months they will do the hit, and then we are heading towards also like the next decks, which you have been facing some of them during our Vanguard Fest tournaments. And like, what's your thoughts?
Honestly, I was really, first of all, really confused, but also very surprised at what they can do. Like, I know Ave Musica, like that lost itself, it's coming out in set 9. And then when I fought against it, I was like, whoa, that's so cool.
But I have no idea what they do.
And I just saw my opponent like, oh, when Kaiwas 1, draw 1+5, I'm like, yes, you got it. Estacion was really cool. Seeing how they just plant tokens in the early game and then drawing cards and then having power in the front row was really cool. So I'm excited about that deck. What other decks was there? I think Overlord with the Scarlet Flame promo. That was scary when they could potentially hit a double Persona ride. But then luckily my opponent missed the end, so I didn't really get to see it that much.
Yeah, and I actually see that happening, and I see a OT on their first strike check, and I get 6 strike checks.
Yeah, I
So
remember.
it can be scary.
I remember staring at Aegis, and I was like, "Well, good luck, man. Hope you survive."
I survived that turn, but not the next.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, which is very interesting, especially like with Station, which is a very meta deck right here. And one of my Hong Kong friends is also like top 3 today, at least so far. That's
impressive.
their team. And one of them is actually using not the bat but with the kaijus, as far as I remember. But we'll need to wait for the information because I don't see the full picture yet. But they actually went to top 3, and I think it's the only Hong Kong team to survive, so they did pretty well as well. And a lot of new decks coming out, so things will be changed. But even with Bavsagra getting the hit, we can still see a lot of plays which I already absorbed to in our team tournaments. And after that, I don't think we see any.
Yeah.
Out of 3. Yeah, but that's one more thing that I want to talk about, which we find it very interesting, is that the way we fight in within the Japanese community is feeling very comfortable for you as well.
Yeah, so I really like that people like take their time, explain what the cards do.
Yep.
Like, oh, this one, like for Rezal, I put this card in Soul. They remind them that, oh, this one has +5, +5, +5.
Yep.
And then they'll be like, oh, this skill, I get to draw a card, or I can check how many cards, and they'll like slowly and do it very like methodically. And I think that's great because in English, one thing I don't really like is that sometimes a lot of skills are given. For example, I put a card in from hand to soul. I call an extra card with Rezal skill.
Yep.
And then they'll never tell you that there's an extra 5k because they'll assume that that you know that there is a +5.
Yep.
Right. Or like no Varus gets a +10 when it gets revived by Rezal, but nobody ever declares that it gets +10. Yeah, stuff like that was interesting to see for the Japanese side.
Yeah, and I think so far with the teams that we've fought against, they are pretty nice as well.
Yeah.
Like, even though they know, like, basically all of us are foreigners, even though one of our teammates is very fluent with his Japanese, I'm sort of okay, I guess. At least we can do some talking.
Yeah, like I just try my best and be like, yes, I look at top 5, I draw 1, energy charge 3, all in broken Japanese that I learned from the anime, but
yeah, at least it's going through pretty well.
Yeah.
Like, we can still kind of communicate and get games going really good. I did saw a well, not close friend, but like someone I know who brought 2 teammates, and they are all foreigners from Hong Kong and China probably, and they had a really bad experience because their opponent, which I just heard, so I don't have any proof or anything, but is a Japanese players, and then because they know they're foreigners, they can't do the junken right, and then they need to call the judge and do this and that, and then there are some ruling stuff that did you declare this or not, which I think they actually hit 2 warnings and lost the game for it. Yeah, so and like few years ago, I did saw some Japanese players on Twitter just saying if you are joining a Japanese local tournament, especially in a team tournament, when you communicate, can you use Japanese?
yeah.
Like these kind of things happen, but I think they want to at least know what is happening because they are assuming us to know what they are talking about, and then if they don't know what we are talking about, this will kind of give them a disadvantage. But I guess it's a little bit hard to go through, especially when we have teams from like Indonesia, from Taiwan, from Hong Kong, from China, which we may not speak the same language, and then we don't speak Japanese, and there can be some gaps. But very nicely we get through, and we have a very comfortable environment, which I think most of the stuff we have been discussed right here, but then because you are now guaranteed to join Worlds again next year, but we have no idea the venue is. Hopefully it's Japan again.
So do I, so I can play Vanguard SI with Aegis again next year.
Yeah, because I am already locked in with our other teammates again, because through our history, we first go into a 0-2, and then the year after I brought in another friend and an entropy with me, which we are in first 0-1, and then we went into a timeout.
Yep.
And then this year, instead of just playing 2 matches and go away, which they do give us a triple elimination, so even if we lost 2, we can still go on, and then we extend it to 5 instead of just 2. So it's already a very big improvement overall. And well, next year we probably will see a whole bunch of new decks, completely new era, because it should at least go through anyway for like 2 to 3 more seasons.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can see something completely new, and like we can all bring out a new deck to enjoy the game, and maybe the bat will just get hit because of how it's get through as a 1-player game.
I hope not. I couldn't read any Japanese cards, so I played bat just to help myself there.
Well, maybe we can find another deck that can sort of having a little bit more interaction. If that's something that you can understand.
Exactly.
Yeah. So any like kind of last words before we close this up that you want to say?
I think if you ever have the chance to, participate and get to Worlds, really try your best. It's a great environment. All the people I met were all really nice and super competitive, and I can see why a lot of them were able to get to Worlds. And I was really excited to meet like other, I guess, Vanguard celebrities too, like different fight. And Solemn Vanguard as well, so that was really cool. And yeah, I think that's about it.
Sure. And as you can see, you can actually get like a lot of good stuff if you fight for it and go to Worlds. And for both Entropy and Banboo, well, Banboo is a little bit later for me, but for me, it's like because we met very early stage of Vanguard, which is like Legion to G era. So for me, which I have already become an uncle right now, so it's like watching a kid grown up and just become a man, right? It was a very interesting moment in our lives. So yeah, it's very good to see these results, and again, congratulations for winning, and hopefully you will just continue to play Vanguard instead of just, okay, time for me to rest a very long time.
I'll be definitely training with Entropy all day, every day, and hopefully he can get his invite to Worlds so we can come together again.
Yeah, because we have no idea if Premium will still be a thing. We don't have any new card support. The format will probably remains, but will we get any big tournaments that can actually bring us to Worlds is another thing.
Yeah, especially with HoloLive coming to English, it could easily replace Premium, which is hard to see, but I can see why.
Yeah, because for the 8 people tournament yesterday, we actually have a very big venue. A lot of tables taken just for that. And then today, because HoloLive is holding their WGP, so like more than half of the tables are gone. So we are very packed for 8 people tournament, and they need to like kind of do some control. So.
Yeah, we had to line up for like a full hour before we could play the events.
Yeah, but if you are going to join HoloLive TGT, feel free to go for it. It's kind of like Pokemon. I just went in as well, so we will see what's going on with that. But we will stick with Vanguard. We will stick with Standard, even though a lot of people hate the OT, a lot of people hate specific decks that just do 1-player game, just dominate the whole format. But I think it's still way better than a few eras before, like V era will be completely toxic. G era was some sort of toxic in the end as well with the Lure stuff. Like we have gone through 3 eras of Lure, and so far this era didn't completely destroy it with a new rotation.
Temporarily, when people found out the dog was really good with Lure, that was
but they
really shocked.
Make the time to get to hit it instead of completely kill the format, which is very nice. And they need to hit the dog twice.
Yes,
so
One's with Rezal and one's with Luard.
Yeah, and then the new order coming out, which the dog will be good for another deck, I guess. Yeah, so I think I will put a stop here. Again, congratulations, and hopefully we will meet again in Hong Kong and see if you will create any other legends from there. Brought yourself to the Hong Kong WGB Deluxe finals, maybe.
We'll see.
Yep, depending on what cards you can get, I guess. Because so far I cannot help you with the Bavsagra because I don't have the CDs, but
hopefully with your festival stuff, you should get some.
Yeah, hopefully that's what I'm aiming for. If not, you can still try my Station.
Yes,
which is something that can work.
I'll have to learn how to play that one too, for sure.
Yeah, so we will have a lot of time to do that, or maybe you will see us recording some training sections and put it up as a like 5 videos for future. Yeah, so I think that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, guys, and thanks Banboo for taking the interview because yeah, it's a very hard time for me to actually find a close champion, but we finally do. So yeah, thanks again, and I will see you guys later. Bye.